There are definitely a lot of events coming up in the Cardano ecosystem, and here's just a couple of highlights. This one here is a local Cardano meetup that's happening next week. It's a project highlight. So all these projects are actually building on Cardano in Brisbane, our local area here. And you can check out this meetup if you're around in the Brisbane area. Please come along, check it out. Now, if you can't make it, there is a YouTube link just here that you can connect in on, and you can watch the live stream and see these projects that are building out Cardano. And there's another one that's coming up in Austin, Texas, for the consensus event. So IOG is organizing this one, and the Cardano Foundation, and you can find out more information about it on that particular meetup page there. I'll put links to it down below for you. But later on in October, there are a couple of really cool events that are happening. This one here, CNFTCon, I'm looking forward to this one. All about NFTs in the Cardano ecosystem. So if you want to connect and engage with some of these projects that are building some amazing things on the Cardano blockchain there, check it out. It's going to be quite an interesting event. And then last but not least, we also have the Rare Bloom event later on in the year on the 14th and 15th of October. And I actually have Big Peyton joining me on this episode to talk all about Rare Bloom. We're going to find out more information about it, who it's targeted for, and why Peyton decided to put on this event for the Cardano community. All right, let's get into it.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast.
I have a very special guest joining me on this episode. I have Big Pay joining me on this one to talk about the event, the Rare Bloom event that's coming up later this year on the 14th and 15th of October 2022. So I'm pretty excited to learn a little bit more about this, and pretty excited to actually have Big Pay on my channel. It's I didn't think this would ever happen anytime soon. So welcome, Big Pay.
Well, thanks so much for having me on, Pete. And I'm sad to hear you didn't think this would happen soon. I've really listened to your podcast for a while, so I thought maybe eventually it would be inevitable, and we would kind of cross collab here.
I just the reason behind it is because I view you guys like being all the way up here, and I'm still feeding from the bottom of the barrel at the moment. So I feel like I need to reach up a little bit higher or get to the higher plateau to actually engage with you guys. So that's how it feels.
When I used to watch your podcast, I felt that my audio was down here, and your audio and your preparation was up here. So I don't agree with that, but thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we're here now. That's the main thing. Now, I'd like to learn a little bit more about you. I've seen a couple of videos from you from, your early start videos and when you started your YouTube channel and all that, but I didn't catch how you actually started in your crypto space and how you finally decided to go forth on Cardano. I never got to hear that story. Can you share that with the community?
So it's actually really funny what initially got me into ADA specifically. And it's the same thing with Doge and Sheeb, and, it's the low price. I mean, that's initially what drew me in before I watched the whiteboard video, before I actually dug deeper. I was just looking at, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and, I was really young at the time. I was, 17 or 18 years old. And I saw the low price and I was like, oh, I can actually get a lot of these tokens. It was really that simple. And at the time I'd always been interested in computers. I've built computers, and, I wanted to go to school for computer science and engineering. And I just had a lot of computer parts lying around. And this guy actually came to my house, and he, purchased multiple GPUs at a time, which was surprising to me because normally you only buy one for, gaming. So then he told me about mining. So then I'm immediately hyper focused, and within a couple of weeks, I had a mining rig set up, and then I learned about proof of stake, and it just made sense to me. I just quickly realized that we're using all of this electricity to show that we have value in something, and we're using all of that electricity for nothing. And the idea of the token having the value and being what allows you to process transactions, made more sense to me. So from then, I think that was 2016, 2017. I just, kind of waited for Cardano to release proof of stake, which was supposed to be 2018, but eventually it happened into 2020.
Yeah, a little bit later. And then the rest is history, really. You jumped on the ITN, launched your pool, and hey, presto, here you are now doing YouTube channels and doing a lot of things in the community as well, which is absolutely exciting. So now with this Rare Bloom event, Like, why are you doing the event? Like, what led you to want to actually create a community event around Cardano?
It's honestly, it's like kind of a grassroots story to me. Last year, there was an event hosted in Miami, and it's an event hosted by Husan. And they've actually recently created a nonprofit called the Cardano Solution that hosts events in South Florida, and it's awesome what they do there. They allow people to come up and, pitch projects, and they allow people to network. And I really just saw a lot of value in this event. I went there and, Charles actually flew in for this event, and, he was talking to everybody, and, I got to see Charles, and I just got to see, meet people from IOG, meet a few people from CF, and meet a lot of community members. And, this was my first time ever meeting anybody in person in the Cardano community. So it was like kind of special for me at this time, because it gave me a lot of inspiration. It kind of felt like I'm just, creating videos and creating content, for numbers. And this just made me feel that, what we're doing here is actually real, and provided inspiration in my work and in my business, for at least 3 to 6 months after that. And then I went to the Bitcoin conference. It was actually the next day. And, I thought the Bitcoin conference was going to be just as awesome as the Cardano Meetup that was only 3 hours the night before. And it wasn't. It was, Bitcoin maxis, and, you saw the infamous like Max Kaiser thing. And, you go up to all the booths and you speak to the booths, and there are definitely cool people building cool things there. But none of them are, Cardano themed, or, none of them. There's just not even 10% of the booths there Cardano themed. And it's like, I feel that as a business, if you're trying to network or buy a booth, it's going to cost you $30,000 or $40,000 at the Bitcoin conference, and you're not really going to provide value back to your business because your target audience isn't there. And then I went to the Cardano Summit, which is, I'm wearing the t-shirt from there. And it was awesome. I got the same experience I did from, the meetup with Husan, but still, I felt that, IOG didn't have the ability to sell boosts because they could be, playing favoritism there. So I felt that a third party from the community needed to do this. And because, I've done podcasts with Charles and Ben Gortzel and a lot of these, big projects in Cardano, I had already had a contact with them. So I kind of just, reached out to all of them and said, hey, if I were to host an event like this, would you be interested? And, many of them said yes. And it kind of just led to, me speaking to a venue. Like after the Cardano Summit, me and my partner Rand actually drove down to Denver from the Wyoming Summit to look at the venue and speak with, the event manager there. And, the rest is really history there.
That is so cool. I absolutely value meetups as well. It's by far the core fundamental, like networking and meeting someone. It's like you go to a networking function, you meet a designer and you're a developer, and hey presto, you suddenly have a brand new project by the end of the night. So I absolutely love meetups, and the more you have, the more the merrier. So it's really cool that you guys are. The South Florida thing is going really well with Hassan and the Cardano solution there. I'm absolutely fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, the Cardano solution. He really is a core inspiration, for this, because he hosts these meetups every 2 months, and, sometimes there'll be, 20 to 40 people there. And then other times, we'll have 150, community members there with, great pitches and great projects. And it really is just, you almost need that in-person inspiration when we live in this world of us all working online,
Oh yeah, definitely. So you said that you went after Wyoming to this particular venue in Colorado. So why Colorado?
The short answer is, I really wanted IOG to come, and I wanted it to make it easy for them. And it's it's about 40 minutes away from Charles's house. So
okay,
that's one reason. The second reason is convenience for people coming. There's actually an international airport 20 minutes away, from the venue. So it's very easy for people to fly in around the world. Denver's a huge airport with, flights coming in from a lot of other airports as well. And then the venue's so close to that international airport that, that was the other, big reason.
Gotcha. I did have a look at the pictures of the venue, and it looks absolutely stunning. So it's I think it's a really good choice of venue. Now, that kind of leads me to the costs around this. Like, how much are you selling these tickets for this particular event?
Right now, they're at $375. The early bird initially was $350.
Can you convince the venue to accept data?
Maybe next year.
One thing at a time. All right. Okay. I noticed on the tickets that you had these interesting things around the NFTs. So how does that get incorporated into it?
We wanted to actually use the Cardano blockchain with this event, and creating it. Once you learn, creating NFTs and minting them for people, it's not very hard. So we just thought it would be really cool to give people a stamp in time of them going to the first Cardano themed event. And for every general admission ticket that you get one GA ticket, and then you get one additional NFT. But this additional NFT is actually going to be at random, and it's going to be from one of the people, one of the projects that are actually coming to this event. So, we're working with, NFT artists. We also have, like a Ben Gortzel themed NFT that we've got, we've worked with Singularity Net for their designer. So that's just going to be one random NFT with that. And then, very fortunately, until June 15th, we're actually going to be giving anyone that purchases a ticket before June 15th an additional random NFT. So a second NFT from the same, randomization as the first one there. And then there's also a 10% discount you get before June 15th as well. And this is called the Perks Pass. It comes with a bunch of perks. There's also a discount for next year's event on there as well. And the discount code for your audience, Pete, is Pete10. And I think that's capital Pete and then 10. And then anyone that watching this can, type that in when they're purchasing the ticket. They'll get the Perks Pass, which is an additional NFT. And then they'll also get the discount for that as well. And then the VIP ticket, that comes with all of the NFTs. So instead of getting them at random, you just get all of them.
That sounds like a really cool airdrop and extra for all the ticket holders as well. And I absolutely love that as well. When I was going through looking at the site and looking at through the ticket purchasing process, I did notice the address there that you had to put in your wallet address. I'm assuming that's where you're going to airdrop the
exactly. And
the NFTs to.
You can actually purchase the tickets in ADA too. We really did want to utilize the Cardano blockchain. We didn't want to, say we're building something for Cardano, but we only accept USD. And also, we are not going to, do any NFTs or anything like that. It was definitely a bit more work for us, but it was worth it, in the value add. And we wanted to do something additional, and it didn't seem, too hard relative to the value add,
Yeah. Okay. And I'm assuming you're selling the booths to various people in the community as well to get the exposure.
Yes. Any project or, even NFT project, anyone building on Cardano can, reach out to us and purchase a booth. And those come with, tickets as well when you purchase the booth. And you can, you can do really whatever you want, in these booths. You can set up a TV and you can display NFTs on screen. Or you can just have, a table there with some chairs where you have, meetups and networking with people in the community.
A personal question. How old are you?
I'm actually 22.
22? You're pretty young. It's I thought you were a little bit older, the way that you act. You seem very mature, and the fact that you're taking on, organizing these events, it's quite commendable. So it's I'm impressed.
Thank you. I have help definitely from my partners. It's not just me. It's, me, Wes, Rand, and Ben, and also Anthony working on this. So it's not just me, but yep. I do appreciate that.
So who are you kind of expecting to be coming to this event? Is this event targeted towards beginners? Are you going to run workshops to make it a little bit more technical? What should people be expecting when they come?
So there will be workshops. So for people that are more technical, we'd really like to reach a wide range of people, beginners. We're going to have, more technical speakers, and we're also going to have less technical speakers, places for beginners to learn. And we're also, we're working with Genius Yield, for example. They're going to do, really like an intro to DeFi, workshop at the event. We're really trying to reach, anybody in the Cardano community, whether they be at the beginner level or more intermediate.
All right, that's fantastic. So it's a good overall spread of content. And what about the speakers? I've noticed like a whole bunch of familiar faces on the website in terms of speakers and presentations. Are people flying in for this as well? And what are the highlights on the event schedule at the moment?
Yeah, so people are going to be flying in for this. We're being very limited as far as remote calling in. For example, we've confirmed one remote, and that's Alex Trupanoy, the creator of Ergo. But everyone else that you see on the list will actually be flying in. For example, we're going to have Ben Gortzel, fly in. We're going to have Sunday Swap, the CIO of Sunday Swap Pi. He's going to have a speaking spot as well. Same with Singularity DAO, Singularity Net. We don't have any confirmations from speakers from IOG, but they will definitely be there. They have a booth and they're working on, figuring out because, they have a very busy schedule. So they're going to tell us exactly who can speak and, at what times. We're having Ada Handel actually come out. Same with Liquid Finance. Charlie 3 is actually coming out as well. Same with Five Finance. Really pretty much everyone you see on the list currently. I actually don't even see DC Spark on here. DC Spark's going to be at the event. They're going to be coming out as well. But everyone you see on the list, they're going to be flying out, and we only have one remote currently.
Wow. Okay. That's it's pretty much all the top names in the industry really are going to be at the event. So if anyone really wants to actually meet these people and network with them, it's pretty much a no-brainer. Like you should be there to actually I guess the term is rub shoulders with them. Is that the right term?
Yeah. And that's really what we're trying to create is, the networking event for Cardano with, the biggest projects and the biggest names in Cardano, because it's really hard to, rub shoulders with these people at a Bitcoin conference. And, sometimes you'll see a small subsection of them at, events like, Consensus that's coming up next month. But, to have all of these specifically from our community in the same place, and the list is growing every day too, as well, because I'm speaking with a lot of people as well right now, and it's really people that that is obviously missing, because there's like 3 people that seems very evident that they're missing, and I'm speaking with them and trying to bring them on board as well.
Very, very exciting. I did see a photo of you with Stephen Ward from ViFi and I think the team from Paribus and the guy from C3, forgotten his name off the top of my head. Damon. That's it. Yep. So I saw a photo of you guys in Florida at some event there, and someone told me that it was just you guys. You were the only guys. Oh, and Linda, of course, Linda was there.
Yeah.
But you were the only guys there that were in the Cardano ecosystem, and everyone else was from all these other different chains. That's tiny. We need more events where Cardano's represented. What's the problem here? Why isn't Cardano projects appearing at more of these events and networking at a broader level?
So, from my understanding, it's really the efficiency of the marketing at these events. The Bitcoin conference, the booths are very expensive. At Consensus, the booths are very, very expensive. And the same there's only 5 Cardano people, and we've all found each other to take a picture together. When you spend $40,000 on a booth, who are you really marketing to at these events? And one thing I hope with the Rare Bloom and also Cardano growing, people actually have the ability to build projects and build businesses now, and that takes time, for these businesses to get, the proper procedure for going to these events, who they don't really know the logistics behind that. And my hope with the Rare Bloom is that really this is kind of, teaching a lot of these new businesses the procedure for, getting a 10 by 10 booth. And, a lot of the stuff you can reuse as well. If you have the proper procedure to put it on pallets and ship it out to, somewhere else before you go to the next booth. And then, you can ship that same pallet out there. So hopefully this will, give a lot of these businesses the infrastructure they need to go to these events, as long as the events that they're going to, other than this one, are, efficient and who they're marketing to,
Yeah. And talking about other events, I know there's one the weekend before you guys, CNFTCon as well. Was this intentional to have the 2 events on at such a close point in time together?
No, them being that close definitely wasn't intentional. But one thing that I've seen that is really cool is there's actually some people doing a road trip between both events, which I think is pretty funny. It's just, I could imagine, I wish I could attend, but I'm going to have to be setting up, Rare Bloom. But imagine that, taking a road trip across America, with the Cardano community.
So my geography of the US is very poor, but
because these two events are close together, I can actually come out and make the most of it. So I'm trying to get to both of them and tick them both off my list. But how far is that road trip? So anyone else that's really interested, you could. What is the logistics from going from CNFTCon in, I think it's Vegas, to Colorado? Is it a big trip? The States looks huge.
It's 11 hours and 2 minutes. So
it's not too bad.
Not too bad, but not easy.
So I'm pretty excited to actually get out there and get to both of those events and hopefully join in on that road trip and meet and network with some people along the way. It's going to be pretty exciting, I think.
Yeah, I'm really excited. There hasn't been something in the Cardano community where, so many of the big faces that I've always dreamed of meeting are actually there. I made a tweet a couple of days ago and I just, tagged everyone that I know is going to be there in person, setting up their booth because, people that get a booth actually come a day early and it's just going to be us, in there setting up our booths. And, it's just going to be only the people that bought booths. So I'm going to be walking around just shaking everybody's hand like, wow, it's crazy that we're all here in this, in this place. I'm excited.
With all these networking events, I find the most value that I get out of this is the parties, the things that don't happen at the actual events. So there's the topics, the sessions, you learn a lot from them, but the networking is the key thing. Are there after parties at this event? Are there between parties, pre-parties? Like what's the deal with that?
So there is going to be one main after party that Friday night on the 14th. And we're actually working with a couple, projects out there in the community. Some ideas that have been thrown around is actually, a Singularity Net themed after party. We've actually talked about there's actually this band called Desmonda, and it's an AI. Have you heard of Desmonda before?
No, I haven't.
So it's actually a band that Ben Gortzel is in, with a few other people. And there's actually an AI humanoid robot in the band as well. So we're working with having a live performance, from them as well. And then maybe a Singularity Net themed after party. But yeah, the main after party is going to be that Friday night. And we wouldn't have a problem with anyone else hosting, another after party the following night. And we kind of wanted to leave that slot open as well. To kind of have, give the community a chance to do that as well.
Gotcha. Okay. And the pre-party as well. Like you can't forget the pre-party. You got to warm everyone up,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm really looking forward to it. Now, how are the ticket sales and everything going at the moment?
The ticket sales are going great. And another thing that was really surprising to me was the, sponsorship interest, people actually, looking to come to the event, as a business. We really thought that it was going to be mostly, retail, but, retail's done great. But what was very surprising to me was, the sponsorship interest and, people wanting to come to this event because they saw the same problem that I did with these events, and that it doesn't make sense for them to, spend money on, the Bitcoin conference or Consensus or these other, events.
So all those links to the website and the coupon code for the discount are put into the links down below so everyone can get to it. And thank you so much for actually offering that coupon code as well. I didn't realize that was on the cards on the table for us all.
Yeah, it's no worries. I really appreciate you having me on the channel. And, I just felt that, it would be awesome to have one directly for your audience.
Well, Peyton, I think it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you and learning a little bit more about you and also the entire event as well. I'm pretty excited about it, and I'm excited to meet you in person as well. So it's going to be a really cool year for events and an absolutely awesome year for Cardano.
Yeah, I agree as well. And, I want to actually set up a podcast table at the event. So maybe we could do one in person when you're there.
Oh, crazy. In-person podcast. Oh my God. All right.
I've been wanting to do those for so long. Everyone's just so far away.
But yeah, let's do it. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, for watching.
Awesome. Thank you.
So all the links down below for you guys. So if you want to find out more, you can. And that coupon code is there for you guys as well. Now, I don't make any affiliate commission or anything around that for this particular ticket sale. It's just there for the Learn Cardano community. Now, I did plan on selling some ADA to fund my trip over to the US. but we all know how the price of ADA looks at the moment. So I'm just trying to rearrange funds so I can work out how I'm going to get there and pay for this particular trip. Now in September of this year, after the Rare Bloom event, we should be seeing the Cardano Summit as well. And the Cardano Summit is the one that the Cardano Foundation puts on, and it's an open community event. It's global, so it happens all around the world all at the same time. And this is a little clip from the Brisbane one last year. We had a fairly good turnout. I wasn't expecting so many people, but we should see a bigger event, fingers crossed, once they announce the date so we can organize all the details around it. So if you're interested in any of this type of event, please reach out to the various people in the community so you can find out more about the various events that are being put on, join them, network, meet the people building on the Cardano ecosystem. Love to see you guys at some of these events. That's it for me for this video. If you really enjoy Cardano related content, thumbs up, click subscribe, click the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debate.